Today is another successful outing for Nigerians who are standing against the tyranny, corruption, misgovernance of the APC, Egbekegbe, and the entire ruling class in Nigeria. They have been shot. They have been killed. They have been arrested and locked up. They have been beaten, brutalized. Man, they are unstoppable. I have come tonight with the more details of what happened across Nigeria today. And this afternoon, Tinubu and his men, they finally came out to say, yes, he has something to tell you. Bollock. Share this broadcast. Read beyond the description. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell all of them. Today, thank you so much for joining me. Please, before we all settled in, right? Just take a moment and like this broadcast. Share it. And thank you if you have already done that. This afternoon, we did a sort of, a coverage, so to say, of how the third day of the days of rage was faring after yesterday's massacre. It is massacre in the sense that in 48 hours, the Nigerian police, secret police, and so many other maybe state and non-state actors deployed to go and attack and disrupt the peaceful protest where Nigerians were asking that the policies of Tinubu, which has impoverished them, they know better now, right, than what the politicians, the ruling class, have been telling them. Initially, they thought, well, the whole noise was just on social media. So day one shook them. They killed 13 people. Day two was yesterday. They killed 10 people. Now it is official that they have killed at least 23 people in the last 2 days. Today, they shot a boy. I have all the clips. So this morning in Abuja, that was the kickoff of the violence. The Nigerian police, unprovoked, initially they said they have designated areas. MKO Abiola Stadium in Abuja will be the designated area for all the protesters, right? So they've been having issue with the protesters that have left the MKO Stadium to embark on a procession in Abuja. And this has led to a lot of people being shot. And yet the protesters are still being blamed for the violence. But good enough. This is social media, okay? So which means, except if you choose not to see, or you choose what you want to see, so that whatever suits your biases. But a lot of people have been exposing the culpability of the criminals in government, including Tinubu, especially Tinubu's government, doing everything to break the rank, not doing anything to actually look into their demands. They've called them names and all that. They've been threatened. The soldiers or their military says they are on standby. And the only thing they are waiting for is just an order from Tinubu, an order that may come tomorrow. So I have said this before. Tonight would have been the dead 0 hour. Remember, I said on the first day of the protest, I said, that was 2 days ago. I said Tinubu has just 48 hours. 48 hours to make some certain pronouncement. I'm talking about immediate pronouncement. Forget about this, all these distractions about tribal, this, religious, this, and all that nonsense that have kept you down for so long. Situation has gone beyond what some of you are just about to find out. Beyond whatever you think it is in Nigeria. But they didn't know that. Or maybe they probably do now, that the last 3 days. So I said it will need, number one, it will need to cut down the dubious LGBT cabinet that he puts together, the fraudulent cabinet, the criminals he put together, Aslikas. If he brought them to come and help him with his ideas, well, the last 1 year has shown that it's probably that Tinubu has no idea at all. So now he will first have to sack. He has 50 ministers. So he first have to sack 40 of them through that pronouncement. So including with a wiki, yeah, he would have to sack all of them, which I believe he won't do. To appease the angry Nigerians as we speak, in the north, in the south, he will first have to make a pronouncement that says, I am sorry about the subsidy issue. Right now, I just need 1 week. I'm going to tell them not to disrupt your protest. Continue your protest, please, but give me 1 week. In 1 week, the petroleum price will come down to 100 naira per liter. Because right now, promises can't change anything anymore. You actually have to make them see something happening. They have done so well to use their media in Nigeria to suppress the news and genuine news of the protest in Nigeria. On their radio, they've been trying to distract people with nonsense. Others, they are just trying to lie to them. Propaganda after propaganda, this and that. So if Tinubu comes on tomorrow and he didn't announce the reversal of the electricity bill, the reversal of the subsidy, and did not announce the sack of those incompetent criminals like himself that he put on, right? Then whatever is the people around him advised him of, right, about this whole thing, okay? We'll find out tomorrow. Yeah, you know, I've told you before that they are telling you that some people are trying to overthrow Tinubu. They've told some of you that. Well, it seems that one is not really working yet. They wanted to incite you, okay, to go after people who are demanding for things. Policy. It's not just hunger. We are hungry. No. People are united by hunger. But there are so many other things there that policies can change. If Tinubu announced tomorrow that the electricity tariff is cut down back to where it was, and you check your bill and you realize that, yeah, it's true. That one doesn't need them to give you rice or give you money. To say, don't listen to them or don't join them, or yeah, take rice, take this. When you finish that rice, even that money can't get you anything. But when they cut down that UL, it will affect those of you who want to go and disrupt, because they told you, the people asking for the cut down of all these terrible policies, they want to remove Tinubu. That's what they told you. And you were like, they cannot remove Jagaban. Abi? But if he woke up, if he wakes up tomorrow and he says, okay, I've heard you now. Petroleum price will now go back to 160 naira. Is that not going to affect you? Are you still going to feel proud that you call these people enemy of Nigeria? Would you still be proud? I'm talking to you, Abobaku. I'm talking to you. You are looking at your side. Who do you think I'm talking to? You, Abobaku. That believes that protesters should be killed. They should be brutalized for asking that the hardship they put. You are saying to yourself that it's not Tinubu that caused it. But has your life remained the same since they lied to you that they removed subsidy? Has your life remained the same? No. But if they return it, would that not affect you directly? You see all these prices of food, all these things that is making life hell, price of medication and all of that, they have all increased by more than 400-500%. Now, if all of that crash down, Is that not going to affect you? Is that not going to affect your family too, positively? But if you see what is affecting you negatively right now, and you have an opportunity of changing that, criminal politicians are telling you that it is some people who want to take their job, or some people want to remove them from office. But what is their use in that office to you watching me? You can't pay your electricity bill. It's so out of the place. Hyperinflation has cut off whatever effort you are putting into what you call your struggle. But they do not want to change that. They said you should keep it that way. But you are watching them, spending your money frivolously. And they are telling you that don't listen to people saying that. They want to buy jet. They've bought a private jet, 2 jets, 1 yacht. Abba. They tell you that those who are demanding for 250,000 naira minimum wage, I believe in wage, they are the enemy. And you believe them. You collect 5,000 from APC. And then that 5,000 can't feed you or fuel your generator. At least you don't have electricity. You are still going to pay for darkness. So I am not expecting some of them to hear this because, hunger day. That's what they say. But right now, Tinubu has made an announcement that he is going to speak to you tomorrow. They are recording the video right now. Cut and join, cut and join. Oh, let's retake that, sir. No, retake that one. Cut and join. They are doing that right now. Only for them to further make you angrier. I can bet on that. It's going to make you more angrier tomorrow. If none of his pronouncements is what I just told you now, that means they will double down. The military that is waiting, he can now tell them to clear you out of the street because he's going to tell you, I heard you. I understand the hardship, but there's nothing we can do right now. If there was anything I can do, I would have done it, but there is nothing. So if you remain on the street after that, it's military that is going to, that they said, their chief of defense staff said they are standing by to kill Nigerians. About Nigerian policemen, they dress like it's a wartime. Look at the picture on the left. These guys shot over 4,000 canisters of tear gas this morning in Abuja to disperse peaceful protesters as they are gathering. They did that. See police officer with a hand grenade. Hand grenade for protester. Kilo day. And these are people that an average policeman in Nigeria only gets paid 90,000, I mean 95,000. You will see some of their senior colleagues like these ones being paid 300,000, 250,000 naira. And guess what? Here they are. Like the people who are asking for better country, they are the enemies. Look at them. Tinubu's government announced that they are selling they're selling bag of rice for 40,000 naira. People were asking them, you announced this your sale of half price of bag of rice for the past 1 week. Where are the places we are going to get the rice? They now put that information out. Did you read that? They're asking people, hungry people, to go online. Go on Google to go to www.ohcsf.gov.ng because I won't buy half price of rice. Do you see all this deceit at all? They say, you go order the rice online. Person where they village right now screaming in Kano, in Jigawa, in Keribi, in Sokoto, in in Jos. All the people screaming at screaming at themselves in Ota. Today, they would have to go online and order their own bag of rice, APC, Egbekegbe's rice. So the people have now decided that tomorrow on call, which is Sunday, everyone should take the protest to church. Just like go to your church with and bad governance. Make videos. Listen to your pastors talk about the situation in Nigeria. Listen to their own, whether they have their own prejudices and biases. Take it to your church. And then the next one is going to be to take it to, if Tinubu remains adamant, it is next to take it to your mosque, Jumat. You see, this is when you will know that even if their media continue to suppress this news, social media will always be a place where you can only be ignorant by choice. Social media, this moment, is a place where if anybody is ignorant, it is by choice. The information are all there. And if you are too, if you are the type that is too busy, can't really be going through everything, subscribe onto Mayegu's Diary Politico. This is where you have all the compilation of what happened. Sowore has responded as well. Yesterday, SEGA was on one of their TV program in Nigeria discussing this protest. And he categorically called out Omoyele Sowore, blamed him. He said everyone killed were not, everyone killed was not killed in his own or house. They were killed on the street because they are protesting against the government. They want to remove governments. And the person responsible for those killed would be Omoyele Sowore. He should be arrested. Yeah, SEGA said that. And Sowore has responded. I think we should start from that. I have for you tonight a lot of videos. I'm talking about long watch videos. So if you haven't shared this broadcast, this is your moment. Please do. As we again, as we take on, as we start from where Sowore actually spoke. Okay, here.
To insist, regardless of what the government did, you have covered extensively all kinds of strategies and tactics they used, bribing people, threatening people, bringing in traditional rulers, religious leaders, bringing in traditional practices to threaten people, especially in Lagos and Abuja, and then eventually cracking down and killing Nigerians who are just simply demanding for their rights. With regards to the looting that happened in Kano, it has now been established that it was carried out by people who were brought in by the APC to attack the government house. It had nothing to do with us. And that was why the protests continued the next day. Without the moment the government was exposed as being behind the violence and the looting, the protest went smoothly the next day, which was yesterday, and it's going to continue today. Even though somebody had expressed that maybe the crowds weren't as big as it started, of course, people needed to take a little bit of a break, but it would continue, and I assure you that this protest will continue to be massive for the next, as long as the protesters decide to be on the streets, which is for now is going to be for the first 10 days, and we'll see what goes on from there.
So I want to bring your attention to a comment made by a lawyer, that's Ebolu Adegberua. I'm not sure, I don't know if you've heard about this, but he, counting some of the losses that Nigeria has experienced in the past few days, called for an end to the protest and dialogue. I'm going to read exactly what he said and verbatim to you. Now, he said, I appeal to the protesters to withdraw themselves from their various protest grounds and to suspend the protest immediately and indefinitely, to give room for meaningful dialogue and engagement with federal government. He continues here, given that the protests were said to have been hijacked by sponsored agents, it is necessary to avoid further losses and casualties. The organizers and their representatives should embrace dialogue. I'm wondering what your take is on this particular statement, noting that initially he is one of the people who also called for the police to actually support the protesters from, I think, earlier last month. What's your take?
I've spoken to him. It's his private opinion, and he's entitled to it. He wasn't speaking for the organizers. He said that's how he felt, and I'm sure he has more information now that will be helpful to him going forward. But there's nothing wrong if he calls for anything he feels can bring about peace. A lot of people would say different things at this time, and Ebu is extraordinarily a brilliant guy. He was a student union leader. He was president of University of Obafemi Awolowo University student union when I was student union president at the University of Lagos. So we've known each other for a long time. So there's nothing to worry about. The protest will continue. He understands that very well.
And what's your take on the losses that we have experienced? Like in the north, we had the situation where there was the looting of the NCC yet to be commissioned building. There was also the shooting of a young man in, I think, Kano. And there's also curfew in Kaduna State and parts of Nasarawa as well.
Well, the protesters have broken the curfew on their own as of yesterday. There are no more curfews that I know of. The casualties you have mentioned, as you know yourself, was caused by the police. The police went out to kill people. The looting in Kano was carried out by the APC people. So there's nothing related to the protesters regarding this. The protesters have demonstrated what this is all about by stepping up the next day, which was yesterday, and protested across the country, and there are no casualties because the government and the police have been exposed. If you were on Twitter, day before the protest, Lagos police claimed that there was a bomb in Lagos just to scare people, and that they detonated. But we knew these tactics. They were going to do anything possible, to blackball the protester and the organizers. What they were trying to do on the first day by killing people and looting was to show to the country that, this is what we said. These people it's going to be hijacked. But this is day 3 now. Who has hijacked the protest? Except what the government did. Nobody. The protest is firmly back in the hands of Nigerian people. And they have demonstrated that this is going to be non-violent. The only violence you notice, and this is very important for framing by the media, was carried out by the government. So we should be calling on the government to fish out the policemen and the thugs who carried out, because they know them. They work together. These are their affiliates. They're their friends and cronies. They're the marshals of violence in the country, and they know them. And we are going to ensure that everybody who participated in killing peaceful protesters is brought to book.
And now, it's very interesting that you're saying that the government should be held responsible, because I want to extend a right of reply to you. Yesterday, during the Breakfast Central show here on News Central TV, we had SEGA Links, hopefully I'm saying that correctly, SEGA Links, who is, of course, quite popular on social media, especially on X, that is Twitter. And he said that you ought to be held responsible for those that have died during the #N bad governance protest, and said that you clamored for this protest, and so they followed your directive and now have died, and you ought to be held responsible. So let me extend a right of reply to you regarding his statements from yesterday and this accusations from him.
I don't take him that serious to be replying to that. This is very illogical to hold somebody who is fighting for justice responsible for crimes committed by the government. The people who carried out the looting, the killings yesterday are government officials. That's the police, or probably the DSS might be involved. We haven't seen the army act in any way to suggest that they were involved. So how do you then hold somebody responsible for exercising his own fundamental rights? I think there's something wrong somewhere with his thinking faculty.
I must also ask you as well about the entire process in terms of the government response and the heavy presence of security agencies, but most particularly the tactic and mode of engagement with protesters. Now, we understand that there are designated points allocated for this protest across states, for Lagos, Abuja, and other major states as well. But when protesters don't go to that place, they are tear-gassed and sporadically shot at in the air, which has also resulted to one stray bullet hitting somebody, and now that person, unfortunately, is dead. I want to ask about that tactic. What, your reaction on that? should they not be, properly geared for protesters, which is, of course, the riot shield and rubber bullets and water cannons instead of tear gas and live ammunition?
In the first place, I want to tell you that we were the ones who asked for designated places of convergence. And in Abuja, we requested for the Eagle Square. And the minister said they can't give it to us because he didn't see our letter. We sent the letter to him. He ignored it. He told them not to collect it or acknowledge it. And so in Lagos, they said they came with a law court order that we should stay at Ojota and somewhere else. And we responded that since there are convergence zones, people should, the government of Lagos, since they're the one who went to court, should provide buses, clean and safe buses to conduct, to carry protesters to and from the places designated. They never responded to that. With regards to our police and our security agencies, you all know them. They are not interested in any professional conduct. That's why somebody or several persons must be held accountable for the crimes of killing and murder of innocent civilians in this case. The standard procedure for engaging protesters is to wear non-lethal or to put up a non-lethal resistance by the security agencies. But our police are so trigger happy. They're always happy to kill their fellow citizens. I don't know how long this is going to continue, but this is part of why there's end governance. And, this can quickly snowball into, I think the police is provoking Nigerians to have to.
That's exactly what they are doing. Provoking Nigerians, testing their resolve, because they have done it many times, again and again and again, and they got away with it every time. So it didn't take him much. It is to dismiss SEGA's, hypocrisy. Somebody that claimed to be fighting for the poor Nigerians, then suddenly became the person that is inciting the government to kill the same poor Nigerians, because he felt so slighted that all of that privilege, you get what I mean? Like, end SARS, end SARS, end SARS.